Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for clicking on this video. I feel like it's been a minute, but maybe it hasn't, and it just feels that way. I chose a non-squeaky chair, so that's a good start. Please like and subscribe. I would appreciate that a lot. It's very, very helpful. Very helpful. I have a little cup of coffee, which just makes talking about books a little bit more delightful. And today, we are going to be talking about the books that I read in February, because I haven't done that yet. Again, not a ton. I feel like this year has started off slow, but I'm not going to apologize for that. I'll read what I want when I want. So let's just get right into it. These, I do not remember what order I read these in, but we're just going to go with the one that's on top. Oh, so first, I have this short story collection by Leo Tolstoy called The Death of Ivan Ilyich and Other Stories. Now, in February, I only read The Death of Ivan Ilyich, which was my book club pick for the month, and it was a really good short story. I don't know, I tell it this year is my Russian year, but we're getting a late start. So this was the first Russian nibble that I had, and it was good. The story, I mean, short stories, good ones, are always really powerful because somehow, I mean, it's like 100-page short story, so almost novella, I guess. But it is exactly what it says it's about, the death of Ivan Ilyich, and it's about, I guess, the sick room and the experience of someone dying and how that affects the people around them. And it was really powerful. The ending was really powerful. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it was really, really good. And I recommend, if you have an afternoon, to sit down, pick it up, and read it. I mean, it's maybe it sounds a little gruesome because it's about death, but I think it's worth it. Honestly, okay, well, I won't talk about the rest yet, but this is a very death forward collection. But anyway, it was good. I missed the book club meeting this month, which was really tragic. But so I didn't get to talk about it with everyone, which I was sad about. But it was really good. I highly recommend that short story. Set it right there. Can you see that? Not really. That's okay. You don't need to. Okay. The next one we have is called First Stop in the New World by David Lida. Lida? Mexico City, the capital of the 21st century. Now, I picked this book up because I went to Mexico City this month, and I like to read about places before I go there. And this was one of the only books that my local library had about Mexico City. It was helpful. It was written, I think, in 2008, so maybe a little. I learned a lot about what Mexico City was like in 2008. 2008? Yeah, 2008. But it was still really interesting, and it was cool to see the progress that has been made since this book was written. So even in simple things like public transit, or just the accessibility of certain things around the city, you kind of saw the beginnings of them in 2008, and now in 2024. Like, the metro system is beautiful, the buses work really well. Obviously, you can always improve, but anyway, it was just kind of cool to see the difference. But it was a pretty helpful little insight into the city. The chapters are kind of all about each chapter is about a different topic. So sometimes it'll be about a specific neighborhood, or it'll be like this one's about getting around, which is about the buses. This one's about the Pyramid of the Sun, that I went to, which I forgot that there was a chapter about this in the book, and it definitely went here. Under the Sun, Globalization and Machismo. I'm sure there's much better books out there about Mexico City, but it was a fun read, helpful. He's not from there. He moved there. And so it's his experience like coming in and exploring the city, which is a kind of helpful perspective for someone who's also doing that. If you're going, it's not a bad read, but I imagine there's better ones. But also it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was helpful. It was helpful for me. The next one that I read, maybe not next, the next one on this pile, is called Howard's End by Ian Forster. I think this is maybe the third time that I've read this, and it's really good. And each time I understand a little bit more, but I feel like there's still so much in this book that I could read it again right now and get more, I'm sure. But this was the book for the Literary Life podcast this month, and I highly recommend going to listen to what they have to say about it, because I'm still processing, and they did such a good job of talking about this book. So I think mostly I'm just going to send you over there, but I will say that it was really good and a book you should read. I'll read you a little blurb on the back. It says, "Only connect is the idea at the heart of this book, a heartbreaking and provocative tale of 3 families at the beginning of the 21st century. The families are drawn together in love, lies, and death." Yeah. This was good. I'm not going to say much because I'm going to butcher it, but just go listen to those podcasts. It's really powerful. Only connect. Just trust me. Just trust me. Trust me on that one. Okay. Next one, less good, but Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin, the second book in the Song of Ice and Fire series. Listen, I'm kind of just in the series now, and I'm just going to finish it because I want to know what happens. But yeah, I don't know if I would recommend these to anybody. I don't know. Like, I'm still torn. It's kind of the same thing I said last month. The story writing is impressive. The fact that he can keep the details in order and weave all of these all these characters together in a way that isn't complete mishmash is impressive. I will say it's impressive. It's impressive. But I do feel like there's something lacking as a whole. Like, I feel like there's not something for me to bite my teeth into, which is what I like in a book. It's what I like in a book. So, but they're fun to read before bed as you're falling asleep. You can just sort of mindlessly read. And there it is. There it is. And listen, it was hard work, I'm sure, to write these. It was very hard work. But I don't know. I feel like there's better fantasy series out there. I feel like there's better fantasy series. Like Lord of the Rings, for example. That thing is crazy. That's wild. This is good, but I don't think it touches something like Lord of the Rings. Or even Dune. Dune and Lord of the Rings I put way above this. But here we are. The second one. You will see the rest in my future ones. You will see them because I just can't. I feel like it's so hard for me not to finish a book, even if it's really painful and slow and I don't want to read it, unless I really think it's really trash. I will finish it. And with series, that feeling kind of applies to the whole series. So it would just seem very unsettling to me to not complete. And that is the main motivation I have for finishing that series, which I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's where we are. Okay, then we have this book called Reflection on the Psalms by C.S. Lewis. I read this with a group of people really slowly over a few months. We read one chapter a week or so. And it was really good. I had read it before, but just kind of quickly on my own because it's pretty short. And I remember thinking it was good, but this time around, I kind of realized how much was actually there. There's so much to talk about. It's just C.S. Lewis's like meditation. It's not like a deep, like structured analysis of it. It's just sort of, okay, this is what I thought about this idea. This is what I think about this idea. But his thoughts are interesting and really great for discussion and really makes you think about these different topics that I personally hadn't really thought of before. So yeah, it's really good for, as a book for discussion. And I love everything that he writes. And this was no different. Okay, the next one is one I had to return to the library. So I'll insert that clip now. Here it is. I've tried to film this maybe 4 or 5 times, and it really makes no sense anytime. So I'm just going to strip back this clip. I think I was trying to say too much, okay? We're bringing it back. The book that I read, that I need to return to the library, is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I kept trying to go on in the earlier takes of what you're seeing about why I loved it and why it was good, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet. I need more time to think. And so this clip is just going to be me saying, this was good. I'm not sure why yet. I think you should read it. I think there's something there, and I think it could be important. And that's all I'm going to say, because everything else was half-formed. Yeah, it was really good. My little February stack, plus the other library book that I had to take back. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed the books I read this month. The books that I end up reading are always so wildly different from the books I think I'm going to read every time. I don't think it would just make any sense for me to ever make a goal of what I'm going to read or make a video about what I should read or what I'm going to read that month, because it never ends up being that. Either someone recommends me a book that I have to read, or like I just last minute decided to go to Mexico City and that one came up. So yeah, it's really interesting to see what actually ends up happening at the end of the month. But so far, March reading is going well. I'm looking forward to telling you about those books. And I thank you for watching. If you made it this far, subscribe, like again. Make sure you click that button. But I hope you are having a lovely day. I hope you get to read today. I hope that this gave you some ideas about what to read. Please let me know if you have any further questions about the book. I know that these are very like surface type reviews. I just give a tiny little blurb about each one. But 1, I'm learning, but 2, let me know if you want more detail and I can try to put in some more work and come up with more things to say. I'm always scared to butcher the book, so I tend to err on the side of just say a little, because I want to do the book justice. But maybe that is doing the book dirty too. I don't know. But let me know what you want. Let me know what you want. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. It's sunny here. I might go outside. I should go outside. See you later. Bye.